Hey guys, long time no see! Welcome back to my channel, CSGO Biology. So as per requested, in this video, we are going to discuss the paper 1 questions for the trials paper, Selangor State paper. Alright, so let's get started. Now, in this paper, we have 40 questions. Let's look at the first questions here. What is the purpose of forming a hypothesis in biology? When you see hypothesis, you are actually trying to make a conclusion before you actually do the experiment. So before you do the experiment, you just make an assumption, but hypothesis is just the assumptions types of conclusion. So that's why the answer for this question is C. Now, this one is simple because it's come from the chapter 1. Let's move on to question 2. Diagram 1 shows a components in a cell. Okay, so what's the meaning of component? Component means mitochondrion, nucleus, chloroplast, those kind of stuff inside the cell is called the components. Now look at this component. When students come to this point, they will realize that this thing, it looks similar to another stuff which looks like this. Alright, so the things that I have drawn on the left side, this one is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. On the right side, this one is the Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus. Now, the problem is how can we differentiate which one is which one, correct? Not the SER or the Golgi apparatus. The thing is very simple. Let me give you a tips. If you see something like the bubbles, the vacuole, okay, it's just beside the organelle or the components, then we can know this is the Golgi apparatus. For SER, there's no such things. The vesicles or the vacuole will not form besides the SER. Now, there's another thing that you can differentiate Golgi apparatus and SER. Normally, SER is very close to the nucleus. Okay, it's very close to the nucleus. So, by using these two methods, I'm sure you guys can differentiate which one is the Golgi apparatus and which one is the SER. So the answer for this question is Golgi apparatus. So do not choose smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Alright, so let's continue with question 3. Question 3. Diagram 2 shows the structures of plasma membrane. Okay, so basically this is the whole plasma membrane. Which of the labeled parts A, B, C, D is the carrier protein? Now when we want to find out the carrier protein, first of all, we will look at the shape of the carrier protein. For carrier protein, they have the active site, which is able to bind with the substance that want to cross the plasma membrane. So basically they will have the shape. For another protein that looks like the carrier protein is the channel protein. Now B is the channel protein. Or we can call it as pore protein. It has two names. Yes, two names. So channel means they have a channel like this. It looks like a longang. So as long as the protein it has the longang, that one is called the channel protein or the pore protein. If the middle part of the protein, it doesn't have the longang, instead it has the shape of the substance, then that one is called the carrier protein. So the answer here for this question is A. Carrier protein, no longang. Alright. Now let's continue to look at these questions here. Solution P has a higher osmotic pressure than solution Q, while solution R has a lower osmotic pressure than solution Q. Okay, so basically we just need to list it out for this kind of questions. Solution P, it has a higher osmotic pressure than Q, right? So R, it has a lower osmotic pressure than Q, which means that, okay, R is the lowest osmotic pressure. Okay, we list it down. High osmotic pressure. Okay, then this one, R has a low osmotic pressure. Q is the medium one. Now, before we answer this question, we need to know what is the meaning of osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is the pressure that is able to apply inside a solution, which will push against the plasma membrane. So to make things simple, the answer should be like this. When you have a high osmotic pressure, okay, it means that you have a low water concentration. Low water concentration, in other words, you have a lot of solute inside the solution, which means that you have a high solute, okay, concentration. Okay, in other words, low osmotic pressure means high water concentration and then low solute concentration. Okay, so here we have the low water and then high solute concentration. So we look at the questions here. Which of the following match is correct? We have the solution P and then we have the M. M stands for molality. Basically, it's to refer to the concentrations of the solute. So if you look back to the explanation that I just explained here, you can see that high osmotic pressure, high solute. The answer should be 0.5 and 0.5. Okay, this is the highest mark, right? Not amongst all this concentration. So we eliminate A and D. Now, left B and C. R is the lowest. It has the lowest osmotic pressure. So, supposingly you have a very, very low solute concentration. So 0.1, 0.3. So which one is lower than Q? This one 2 mark. So 0.1. This C will be the answer. Alright, so I have seen the schema jawaban and the schema jawaban show me the answer as A for this question. So the questions in the schema jawaban is wrong. It's not A. The answer should be C. Alright. Okay, so let's continue. The following information is about why energy reserved for animals and protects the internal organs. Okay, so we want to store the energy. We want to protect the organs. There's only one thing. That thing is called the fat. Okay, that thing is called the fat. Okay, so let's continue. Question 6. Which of the following is related to the catabolism? Alright, so catabolism and anabolism, right? Okay, so catabolism is actually a process that breaks down the complex substances. Okay, it breaks down the complex substances. How about anabolism? Anabolism is going to combine those simple substances into a complex substances. If you want to make it into an equation, it'll be like this. So A will be broken down into B plus C for the catabolism. For anabolism, you are going to combine A plus B, okay, the simple molecule combined together to form the complex molecule. So how could you memorize this one? I have a very dirty joke for you guys. So normally how I memorize, I use this one, ANA. Okay, ANA, it looks like anus, right? Anus. Okay, so what anus do? Anus will normally excrete the waste product, correct? Not. So you look at this equation. You eat, for example, you eat the vegetable A. You eat the meats, correct? Not. You eat everything together and then you combine them together and then form a complex substance. That one is the thing, okay, that you produce in the toilet. So basically, you can memorize in this way. Anabolism means you are combining all those substances into a complex molecule. Alright, so you look at this question, it's trying to tell you what is the meaning of catabolism. So there's two possible answers. C and D confirmed wrong already. So synthesis or breaking down. Here we have the breaking down. So the answer for 6 is breaking down. Okay, breaking down complex molecule. Okay, now let's look at question 7. Diagram 3 shows a types of metabolism that involve energy. Okay, what you can see here you actually can see we have a lot of simple molecule right here. And then by using the energy, you combine them into a complex substances. Okay, complex substances. So these complex substances, as we mentioned, this whole process is the anabolism. Okay, anabolism. We want to combine two stuff together to become a complex molecule. So this is what they did. Now look at the question set 7. Okay, the questions are, which of the following reaction represent the metabolism? It is the anabolism, correct or not? It is the anabolism. Anabolism. Okay. But then the questions here, it didn't state whether this is a anabolism or catabolism. They give you one example. Okay, so aerobic respirations in humans muscle, alcohol fermentation in paddy plants, hydrolysis of the carbohydrates in the duodenum. Okay, so you can see all these options are A, B, C. They are like breaking down the stuff. Okay, breaking down the stuff. So for aerobic respiration, you break down the glucose, correct or not? You break down the glucose by using the oxygen. We call it the oxidations of glucose. Alcohol fermentation in the paddy is also breaking down the glucose into a smaller particles to extract the energy. That one is called the catabolism. Hydrolysis use water to break down the carbohydrates. This one also is considered as catabolism. So the answer here should be D. Synthesis of glycogen from glucose. So glucose plus another glucose plus glucose, it will form the glycogen eventually. So it's like combining the simple molecule together to form a complex molecule. Okay. Now let's look at question 8. Diagram 4 shows a complete set of chromosomes in a humans with a genetic disease. Oh, this guy is unlucky. Let's look at this picture. Okay, I can spot some abnormal chromosome here, which is the set 21st. Okay, it has extra one chromosome here. And then I can see the sex chromosome here, supposedly it should have 2 chromosomes. But then here, it's lack of 1 chromosome. Okay, so we have 2 problems here. Which of the following combinations of gametes contributes to the disease? Okay. Alright, so when you see these kind of questions, it's good for you to like imagine this one, okay? How can you get this sets of chromosome? Before you are born, okay, to this world, we need to have a sperm, correct? Not a sperm and the ovum fertilized together, then only have you. So this sperm should carry certain set of chromosome, and ovum should carry certain set of chromosome as well, in order to combine and form this set of chromosome. The idea is sperm cells should carry half of the chromosome, half set of the chromosome, and then the ovum is carrying the other half set of the chromosome. So what you need to do, you do it manually. If you really have no idea, you do it manually. If you really have experience on this kind of question, you can just see the question, then you know the answer. Okay, so I will do the manual methods. So what you need to do, you try to separate, okay, you try to separate the chromosome into 2 sets. So the left one, let's say the left one, we just pretend the left one is for the sperm one and the ovum is for the right one. Okay, so one set is coming from the sperm, one set is coming from the ovum. So you keep on split them into 2. Split. I use straight line. It's better. Split. I regret. It's quite tiring. Okay, now come to the set 31st. You can see we have 3 chromosomes here. How are you going to separate them? Can you cut them into half, 1.5 and 1.5? No, the answer is no. So you either give one of the side, okay, 2 chromosomes, or you give it 1 chromosome. So it means that you either do this, okay, or you do this. So there are 2 possibilities here already. Can you see that? So you can do this, or you can do this. So what I will do is I will just randomly choose one set. I can give them one set. So sperm, I give 2. And then 2. Okay, this one is for sperm. Okay, it has extra 1 chromosome. Here will be the ovum. Ovum will have 1 chromosome, which is normal. Okay, which is normal. Then I put 0 lah, 0 for normal. Okay, sperm has extra 1 chromosome. Now you can see this this one is normal, but when it comes to this one, this one is abnormal already. So it means that one of the gamete should carry no sex chromosome. Okay, so let's make it this way. So sperm is carrying, okay, 1 X chromosome, but then the ovum doesn't carry any chromosome. So ovum minus 1. Okay, right now we just pretend, okay, we are having the first set. You can see the first set of the sperm chromosome inside the sperm, it should have one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So it should have 23 chromosome, okay, plus 1 sex chromosome. Can you see that? Okay, plus 1 X chromosome. Let's say I put it in this way. So how about the ovum? Okay, you count. Okay, you count. So you count by your own. So I will just write down how many ovum should have. I mean, how many chromosomes can be found in the ovum. So now, ovum should have 23 of chromosome, but it lack of 1 sex chromosome. So here we put 0. So this is the first possibility. You can see that? The first possibility. 23 plus X fused with 22 plus O means no sex chromosome. So can we find this kind of answer? We try. 23 plus X, yes. 22 plus O, yes. So 4 is correct. Okay, 4 is correct for this question. But we still have a lot of possibility here. Can you see that? What happened if I put the line here? Okay, initially it's like this. Initially it's like this. So what happened if I put a line here? Okay. So sperm now should have normal. Sperm now should have normal chromosome, and ovum should have normal the extra 1 chromosome. Okay, ovum should have extra 1 chromosome. So you can just play around with this kind of stuff. Okay, as long as you mix them together, as long as the sperm and ovum they mix together, they will get you this kind of set number of chromosome. Then it should be correct already. So what I can see here is eventually you must get 45 plus XO, or something like that. Okay, you must get 45 plus XO. You just try to find out 22 plus O, 22. This one will give you 44 plus XO. So this one is wrong because this is not 45. This is not 45. So remove it. 22 plus X plus 23 plus O will give you 45 plus XO. Yes, this one is correct. Okay, this one is correct. 45 ma. So option 2 is correct. Option 3 this one also 44 plus YO. So Y ma. Okay, this one is Y and this one is 4. So this one is also wrong. So the answer left here is 2 and 4. Question here. Answer is C for this question. Alright, so this kind of questions you need to think by your own. Okay, you need to think by your own. Go and study a little bit. After you understand that, then you should be able to do this kind of questions in your SPM. Now, question 9. Mitochondria in a cell were affected by chemical substances that block the entrance of the oxygen molecule. So which of the following is the consequences of condition to the aerobic respiration? Now, what is aerobic respiration? To make things simple, aerobic respiration is when the mitochondria they take in the glucose and oxygen. Okay, oxygen, glucose to produce three stuff. Okay, so ATP, energy and then carbon dioxide as well as water. So this is what the aerobic respiration do. Now, What happens if I didn't give the mitochondrion the oxygen? If there's no oxygen, of course, there's no aerobic respiration. Definitely, you are not going to get carbon dioxide, water, and also ATP because the reaction is not occurring, correct or not? So the answer for this question is A. Reaction to produce carbon dioxide, water, and energy does not occur. It does not occur. Okay, so question 9 is A. But I have seen the schema jawaban. So schema jawaban show us the answer is B. So the answer is not B. Remember that. Okay, please go and double check with the jawaban here. Now continue with question 10. Which of the following explain glycolysis? Okay, glucose, okay, glucose. Lysis, breakdown. So this process is breaking down the glucose. Okay, but if you want to break down the glucose, of course you need something to break it. Correct or not? If you want to break the paper, you are going to use the scissors to cut it, or you can use your hand. All right. So if you want to break the glucose, you need to have enzyme. And you need to have enzyme. So glucose breakdowns into pyruvate. Okay, pyruvate. You need the enzyme. If you guys still remember what's the name of the enzyme, the enzyme name hexokinase. Okay, hexokinase. So question 10, the answer should be breaking down of glucose by enzyme. Yes, this is the correct answer. Question 10 is D. Let's move on to question 11. Okay. So diagram 5 shows a parts of human respiratory organs, and which one is the correct about the adaptive feature of the respiratory structure? Alveolus. You have learned this in your PD3, and you should know the 4 adaptations of the alveolus. More surface area, one cell thick, and then numerous number, increase the surface area, and so on. All right. So all these adaptation you guys need to know, okay, and to be able to write down in your structure questions or essay question. So question 11. So here the answer should be B lah. Okay, because the respiration surface area is thin. How thin? One cell thick. Okay, one cell thick. One cell thick to make the respiratory gases diffuse faster. Okay, now why A is wrong? Because it's not absorptions of water, guys. We don't absorb water in the lungs. If you absorb water in the lungs, you are not a living thing anymore. All right. So the surface area moist is correct, but it's not absorptions of water. How about C? Network of blood capillary. Yeah, this one is correct, but it's not to transport the nutrients. Transport the nutrients is wrong. Okay, it's transportation. It's the transportations of the gas. So answer B is the one which is correct. Alright guys, let's look at question 12. Diagram 6 shows an experiment that was conducted to study the actions of pepsin and protein. So we have the temperature thermometer here, and then we have the solution here. The solution, we see what we have here. Albumin, okay, suspensions. Albumin suspension is actually a protein. It's a protein. 1 ml of sodium hydroxide solution. Sodium hydroxide solution. This thing is alkaline. Okay, this thing is alkaline. You learn chemistry, right? So you should know what is this. And we have the pepsin solution. Now, where can we find the pepsin solution in our human body? It should be in our stomach, correct or not? So our stomach is a very acidic environment, guys. It's a very acidic environment. And pepsin work well in this environment. If you suddenly put the pepsin into the alkaline environment, they're not going to work because the pepsin, the enzyme, is going to be denatured. So once denatured, the albumin cannot be digested. Okay, cannot be digested by the pepsin. We look at the questions here. What is the observation obtained from the experiment? The cloudy suspension turned into a clear solution. Alright, so guys, albumin suspension now is not a clear solution. It is a cloudy solution. This is a cloudy solution. So it's cloudy and it will not turn clear if the pepsin is not working. Okay, we just assume, okay, the pepsin is not working right now. Okay, so it will not turn into clear solution. So option A is wrong. So how about the clear solution turns into cloudy suspension? This one definitely wrong. The cloudy suspension on the beginning of the experiment remain until the end of the experiment. Yeah, this one is correct. Okay, so C is the correct one because there's nothing to change. Enzyme is not working, nothing will change. Okay, question 13. What is the most suitable menu for an individual with obesity? So it should be a lot of vegetables, a lot of fibers, a lot of water, okay, and try to reduce the carbohydrates and fat. So this is how we get slimmer. All right, so steamed chicken, yeah, definitely. Okay, you need to eat everything in steam. Okay, tasteless. It's not my favorite food, but it is the must. Okay, if you want to like reduce your weight. Now fruit salad, boiled spinach and warm water. Yeah, I guess this one is the correct answer lah. Okay, 13 is the correct answer. Not fried rice. Yeah, even though fried rice is the best. So fried rice is oily. Okay, it's oily. So definitely not fried rice. Nasi lemak. Nasi lemak confirm lemak. So we don't want to eat nasi lemak. White rice, we try to reduce the carbohydrates. And roasted meat. Roasted meat also not really that good. Okay, so that's not the options for the person who have obesity. Okay, question 14. Diagram 7 shows a longitudinal sections of a human vein. Okay, what we can see here as is the valve. Valve ensure one-way flow of the blood. So the answer should be D lah. Okay, D lah. So prevents the backflow of the blood to a lower parts of the vein. This one simple lah, no need to explain. Now continue with question 15. A married couple has different rhesus factor, and their first child is rhesus positive. The next pregnancy ends with miscarriage. Oh, okay. So miscarriage because the mother, they start to produce the antibody. I guess I guess because they didn't mention about that also. So it must be due to the mother producing the antibody and attack the blood in the child. So it's something like this. So let's say the mother is rhesus. It should be rhesus negative. Since the question didn't mention, it should be rhesus negative. And the baby should be rhesus positive. So the rhesus negative and positive form, the body of the mother, this one is the mother, will detect the rhesus positive here, and then they will start to producing the antibody, to attack the blood in the baby, in the fetus. But it's okay because the first time the antibody, the concentration of the antibody is not that much. So normally the first baby will have no problem with that. But when come to the next one, you can see next pregnancy, the mother body's got a lot of antibodies already. All right. Okay, so this is the rhesus positive again. The baby is rhesus positive again, and mother is rhesus negative. So rhesus negative mothers will have a lot of antibody inside the bodies already. Okay, a lot. Will attack the fetus inside the uterus. Okay, so that's why you always want to be the first one. First one to be born by your mother, not the second one. Second one is dangerous, getting attacked by the antibody. Okay, anyway, so this is the rhesus factor problem, the blood antigens problem. All right, so if you want to solve this problem, you are going to inject the things. The things can prevent the mother from producing the antibody. Okay, so we look at the questions here. Any options is suitable. Okay, let's look at C. Okay, father is not related in this disease. Only mother and the fetus. So father is it will not getting the treatments. Okay, it will not getting the treatments. Remember that. So the father is treated with the anti-rhesus globulin to stop the formation of antibody. Yeah, father is not related. So the mother should be the one. The mother is treated with the ND versus globulin to stop the formations of the NDD body. Yes, you can see if we stop the mother from producing the ND body, then it will not attack the rhesus positive blood in the baby. So this child should have no problem, okay, to survive, okay, to survive until it's getting born. Let's look at question 16. Diagram 8 shows the legs of a person suffering from the lymphatic filariasis. Okay, filariasis. Which of the following is caused by the conditions? Now, this condition is due to the liquid, the plasma, cannot return back to the blood circulatory system through the lymphatic vessels. So right here, this is the lymphatic vessel. Okay, remember, this is the lymphatic vessels. There are some liquids, okay, will move into the lymphatic vessels and being sent back to our blood circulatory system. So let's say this vessel is being blocked, okay, it's clogged or blocked, then the fluid cannot flow back to the blood circulatory system anymore. So eventually, the liquid will accumulate here, okay, in between the tissue. So when there are a lot of water started to accumulate here, these guys, okay, will face this kind of problem, edema. So the answer for this question is clogged blood vessel prevents the blood. Now, we are not talking about blood vessel. We are not talking about blood also. So this one confirm is wrong. Clogged lymphatic vessel, this one is correct. Prevent the blood. Now, it's not blood, it's the liquid we call lymph. Okay, the lymph. So the blood is not the answer. So B and A is wrong. Clogged blood vessel prevent the lymphatic fluid. Lymphatic fluid is correct, okay, but blood vessel is wrong. It's talking about the lymphatic vessel. So C, no. D, the parasite worms, okay, Brugia species infects the lymphatic vessels that prevents the flow of the lymphatic fluid. Yes, okay, lymphatic vessel and lymphatic fluid. So this one is the correct answer. D. Okay, question 17. Diagram 9 shows the concentration of antibody in the blood of both individual P and Q for periods of 10 weeks to acquire immunity. So if you want to talk about acquire immunity, then this one confirm is the artificial hold on, okay, 2 injection respectively. So okay, so we have the individual P and individual Q. So individual Q can get the antibody straight away after the injections, okay, after the injections. But for individual P, they only can start producing the antibody, increasing the antibody slowly, okay, after the first injections here and the second injection here. So this question is very simple. Individual P is getting the vaccine. Individual Q is getting the anti-serum. Why? Because inside the anti-serum, we have the antibodies already. Okay, we have the antibodies already. So you inject the antibodies into the body. Of course, you straight away can get the antibodies, so could not. So this one, what type of the immunity is obtained by individual P and Q? If you want to stimulate your body to produce the antibody, for example, like vaccine, you stimulate. That one is called the active. It should be artificial active immunity. Artificial active immunity for the P. Okay, and artificial or passive immunity for the Q. So question 17, the answer should be A. Okay, the answer should be A. The following symptoms are caused by a lack of certain hormone in an adult. We have the rate heartbeat is slow, low metabolism, body weight increases. Now guys, very simple this one. If you see the metabolism, confirm something related to the thyroxine. Okay, so how can you memorize the functions of this hormone? By using these words, metabolism. Okay, high thyroxine, high metabolism. Low thyroxine, low metabolism. So the answer should be B. Okay, which of the following process occur to return the partial pressures of the carbon dioxide to the normal level? What happened? Okay, so the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the blood of a sprint athlete increases after completing his 100-meter run. So if you are having 100-meter run, that means you have a lot of carbon dioxide in your body, correct or not? You have a lot of carbon dioxide in your body. So let's say if you have a lot of carbon dioxide in your body, you want to remove it out from your body as soon as possible. So there are two things for you to do. You increase your breathing rate. More carbon dioxide out of your body. So that one is increasing the breathing rate. So how can you? The other one is you transport more carbon dioxide back to your lungs. Okay, that one needs your heart to do the job. So there's two things that you need to do. Breathing rate increase. So 2 is correct one. And then cardiac muscle of a heart contract and relax faster. Yes, you want your heart to pump faster in order to send more blood to the lungs, so that more carbon dioxide is being diffused into the lungs. Alright, so 2 and 4. Answer should be C. Okay guys, look at question 20. Diagram 10 shows the human skeletons. Which bones ABCD forms the parts of a pentacular skeleton? A pentacular skeleton means the skeleton at the side one, it's not the middle one. We have the axial skeleton. So the axial skeleton is coming from here. Okay. Yep. So all these are the axial skeletons. So A yes, C yes, D yes. So answer should be B. B is not the axial skeleton, it is the appendicular skeleton. Okay, question 21. Which structure labeled ABCD is involved in secreting progesterone? Okay, so B, D, and C, actually we don't need to look at them lah. We only need to find out the corpus luteum, and the answer should be A, because A is the corpus luteum. Okay, corpus luteum, it will produce progesterone and also the estrogen to remain the thickness of the uterus, and the thickness of the endometrium. So if you cannot remember all this stuff, okay, you can go back to my previous video. I have a very detailed explanations on this topic. Go and watch that video, okay? Then you will find out how easy to memorize the functions of the corpus luteum. Alright, so remember. Come to question 22. You can see diagram 12 shows the growth curve of an annual plant. So annual plants, well, we look at the graph here first. We have the dry mass for the y-axis, and then we have the time for the x-axis. You can see the dry mass is recorded from the first week, okay, 0 week to 25th weeks. The problem is the mass started to reduce in stage A. But then after that, it started to increase exponentially during the stage B. Now, what happened during the stage A? During the stage A, when the dry mass is decreasing, that means the plant is using some of the energy, but it's not producing it. Okay, try to imagine. Let's say you have plants. Okay, you have a plant that started to germinate. Okay, from the seed. So germination, germination. You have no leaf, okay? The seed got no leaf, so they cannot do the photosynthesis. So if they want to grow, they need to use energy. Where does the energy come from? From the seed, all right? So the cotyledons will provide the energy for the plants. Then they will start to grow. They will start to grow. So energy will be absorbed, okay, to the plants before it is able to produce the energy. So you can see the mass will start to decrease because it keeps on extracting the energy from the cotyledons. So we can see the answer for this question should be B. The store put in the cotyledon is used for germination. Germination is being used for growth, but it's not producing any energy. So the dry mass will decrease. Alright. Okay, question 23. Diagram 13 shows a cross section of the leaf. So we have R, S, T, and U. Which structures are involved in photosynthesis? This one is simple. Guys, when talk about photosynthesis, there are three cell types. There are three plant cell types. Okay, you guys need to memorize. The first one is the palisade, mesophyll cell, fungi, and then last one is the gut cell. Okay, the gut cell. So these three cells that can do photosynthesis: S la, U la, and also T la. Okay, so T is also the spongy mesophyll cell. So SUT will be the answer. So here only give you two options: SUT, SUT, SUT. Okay, so they give you R here. Okay, R here. R is definitely wrong because R is transparent and they cannot absorb the sunlight. They allow the sunlight to pass through them to the palisade mesophyll cell so that the palisade mesophyll cell can do the photosynthesis. So if you see R here, you just remove all the R, remove. Okay, so the answer, final answer should be S and T. Okay, so let's continue. Question 24. Diagram 14 shows two different types of plants. We have the Rafflesia here and Hue. Wow, it looks like sun. I couldn't see what's this, but it's okay. We think we can do these questions. Which of the following statements are correctly matched? Now, Rafflesia is a parasitic plant. They take the nutrients from the host, okay, from the host. So carnivorous, no, they don't eat fly. Remember, the fly, they come to the flower to help them to pollinate the pollen grains. So pollination is used for pollination. It's not for food. So fly is not their food, but fly is their agent, okay, the pollinator agent. So B is wrong. A is also wrong. A, epi. Okay, epi means on. So phytic means habitat. Okay, or the place that the plants that like to grow. So the plants love to grow on someone. I think this one is for plant Q. Okay, plant Q. Plant Q is the epiphytic plants. And for the P, Rafflesia, it is a parasitic plant. So the answer should be C. Okay, the answer should be C. Remember, epi means growing on top of the plants. They didn't get the nutrients. They just want to be higher, to be taller, so that they can get the sunlight, okay, for photosynthesis. Okay, so answer for this question 24 is C. Alright, so let's look at question 25. The following statements describe the effect of mineral deficiency in the plants. Standard growth, leaf become distorted and curl up. So area between the leaf vein becomes yellow. What is the mineral deficiency that caused the condition in the plants? Okay, so the answer confirmed is calcium. If you can't remember all this stuff, okay, you need to go to the textbook and find the answer. It should be this kind of information. This kind of information can be found in Form 5 Chapter 3. Okay. Alright guys, let's continue. Question 26. Diagram 15 shows a process that involves permanent loss of water from the plants. Okay, the plants we have the leaf lamina, we have the water droplets. Well, water droplets is coming from the side of the leaf. So this process is called the gutations. Okay, gutations. Okay, there are two conditions, okay, that a plant must fulfill in order to have this kind of process or phenomena to occur. The first thing is the plants must be short. Okay, try to imagine this is a tall plants and this is the short plants. And this is short plants. They have the roots. So in order for guttation to happen, the water need to push all the way to the leaf, okay, and force the water coming out from the hydatodes of the leaf. So if you want to push the water all the way to the leaf, you need a force. And this force is come from the root pressure. Okay, so root pressure is a very kind of weak force that is able to push the water to the leaf, okay, in a short plant. So let's say you have a tall plant like this, okay, the root pressure is not strong enough to push. Root pressure is not strong enough to push all the way to the leaf. So maybe it stay here, okay, the force, the pressure is enough to push the water until here only. So the first thing is the plants must be short. Only occurs in the herbaceous plant, yes, because woody plants normally they are the tall plants. So only occurs in the herbaceous plant. 2 is correct. Occurs through the stomata. No. If the evaporation of water occurs through the stomata, this one is called a transpiration. And transpiration and cartation is two different things. Occurs during the hot day. No. When hot day, transpiration will occur. Okay, transpiration will occur because no water accumulate in the plants. So no water accumulate, no water will be pushed towards the leaf. So no cartation. So 3 is wrong. Okay, take place due to high root pressure. Yeah, okay, because of high root pressure. So 2 and 4 are correct. So answer is C for questions 26. Now, question 27. Diagram 16 shows the type of response that takes place in the plants. Okay, this is the Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. So Venus flytrap will sense, okay, the stimulus. It's actually the vibrations, okay, the stimulus from the insect, from the food, then only will close. Okay, so this process we will see which of the following stimulus can cause the plants to respond. This one is due to the stimulus that cause vibration. Okay, that cause the vibration. Now, what B is not the answer. Due to sudden mechanical stimulus. It's actually not sudden. It's not sudden. So even though they can feel the vibration, they will not close the leaf yet. Okay, it will not close the leaf yet. So they will just wait for the second time, for the second trigger, then only they will close the leaf, just to make sure that the food they want to eat is not too big. Okay, so this one is C. Okay, let's look at question 28. Diagram 17 shows a type of fruit that Malaysians love. The fruit has a big size and bright color. Furthermore, the fruit contains 90% of water, antioxidants, and also such as lycopene. Alright, okay, let's look at these questions. Which of the following is the importance to the plants to produce fruit with many structure Q? Oh, okay, you want many structure Q, which is seed. You want many seeds. So if you want to have why the plants why the fruits they want to have a lot of seed? The seed is for reproduction, correct? Not seed is for germination. If you want to like produce more offspring, you need to have more seed. So why seed is important? Because ensure the formation of big and juicy mesocarp. No. Increase the chance of reproduction for survival of the species. Yes. Okay, so answer will be B. Okay, question 29. Diagram 18 shows the longitudinal sections of the structure of female reproductive organs in flower. So we have P and then we have Q. So which of the following consequences to Q if P unable to carry out germination due to stigma secretions less sugar solution? Okay guys, where is stigma? Stigma is here. And this is stigma. Normally stigma will produce a liquid, okay, a liquid that stimulate the P to germinate. P is a pollen. Okay, it's a pollen grain. So it will germinate and then it will move all the way towards the Q and fertilize the Q. So if stigma is not producing the sucrose, then the pollen grain will not germinate. When there's no germination, it will not move to Q. So eventually, it will not have the double fertilization to occur. So, diploid zygote is not formed. Yeah, this one is correct. Okay, this one is correct. So answer should be A. Seedless fruit is produced. No, we are going to use the hormone because it's the auxin spray on the fruit. Then only you can produce a seedless fruit. This one no. Embryo sac cannot carry out mitosis to form egg nucleate. Okay, guys, this one is the before double fertilization. So even though without the pollen, it will still carry out the mitosis to form egg nucleate. So D is wrong. C wrong, B wrong. Answer is A for these questions. Okay, so question 30. Which of the following is the adaptive feature for xerophytes plants to keep on living in its habitat? Zero means dry. Okay, 0 means dry. So 5 means habitat, as I mentioned just now. The plants live in a dry habitat. It will not have they need to have a very long roots so that they can absorb more water. So we find out where is the answer here. Branch widely to grip into the soft and muddy soil. Now whenever we talk about muddy soil, normally this place got a lot of water one. So A is not the answer. Has fine fibrous root to trap more air bubbles. This one, no, okay, it's not. Has root that spread widely and penetrate deep into the soil. Now, answer should be C. It has a very long root that can absorb most of the water from the soil. So answer is C for this question. Okay, question 31. Diagram 19 shows a dichotomous key that is built up by Form 5 students. Alright, so Form 5 students is not the key points here, but then we will see animals will go to 2. So 2A, this 2A and 2B, both of them they are animals. But animals with 3 pairs of legs and more than 3 pairs of legs will C. Is P, and more than 3 pairs of legs is Q. So P is an insect. P is an insect. So N is correct. Spider is not insect. N is insect. Spider is not insect. So A and C. Okay, so Q must be the insect. Must be the spider because Q has more than 6 legs. So spider correct. Let's look back to R and S. So we have 1B, tumbuhan, plants. Back go to 3. 3 has seed and does not have seed. So if you have seed, most probably you are having flower. Okay, 3A, yes. Okay, 3S, you have seed, you have fruit. So maize plant will be the answer because maize plants can produce the corn. Alright, it can produce the corn. So for fern, it only produces a spore. Okay, it only produces a spore. So it is not using the seed. Answer should be C for this question. Now, question 32. The following information about the organisms, okay, in kingdom Q. Prokaryotes, okay, prokaryote means they have no nucleus. Okay, they have no very membrane-bound nucleus. Cell wall is made of petidot lichen. Okay, petidot lichen, this cell wall can be found in this type of cell wall can be found in the bacteria. Live in a very hot acidic areas and anaerobic environments. Or this one is for archaea bacteria. Okay guys, so for these questions, cell wall is made up of petidot lichen. This one is only for bacteria. Remember, archaea bacteria got no petidot. Archaea bacteria got no peptidot lichen. Okay, it has no peptidot lichen. So this is the difference between the bacteria and the petidot and the archaea bacteria. So this question got no answer. Okay, because bacteria cannot live in a very hot acidic environment. Okay, if you want to really go and choose one, okay, the answer should be A and B. But you guys must understand that, okay, peptidot lichen, this characteristic is for bacteria. But for the living in a very hot environment and anaerobic hot and acidic areas, that one should be belongs to the archaea bacteria. So I don't think there's an answer for this one. Okay, we just skip this question. There's no answer for these questions. Okay. Now, question 33. Which of the following is the heterotrophic, okay, organism known as the saprophyte? Saprophyte means you can digest the dead body, the corpse, okay, the dead body of the organism and take the nutrients from them. So the answer should be D, decomposer. Question 34. Humans' activity that cause the occurrence of phenomena as in the environment. Deforestation, agriculture, motor vehicles, livestock. All these things will produce a lot of carbon dioxide and methane gas. Okay, so why livestock is included here, correct or not? So it will produce a lot of methane gas. Methane gas is one of the greenhouse gases. It will cause global warming eventually. So phenomenon S must be greenhouse effect. Okay, greenhouse effect. Okay, question 35. A man with thalassemia minor marries a woman who also has a thalassemia minor. So what is the chance for the couple to have a child with thalassemia minor? Okay, so minor means it's a carrier. Whoa, let's make alphabet T as the thalassemia, the dominant allele, and the small t as the thalassemia. Okay, the gene for the allele for the thalassemia. So it is minor, means it is normal. The man is normal, but is carrying one thalassemia allele, which is big T and small t. Woman also doing the same thing is also a minor, so we have big T and small t. So we cross. Okay, we see what kind of gametes they will produce. Big T, small t, big T, small t. Now, fertilization occur, you cross them. Big T cross with big T cross with small t cross with big T, small t cross with small t. So it'd be like big T, small t. This one is big T, small t, and small t. So you can see the carrier. Okay, the carrier is here. One of the allele is normal, another allele is good for the thalassemia. So we have 2 out of 4, 2 over 4, okay, probability to have the thalassemia minor, which is equals to 50%. So the answer here should be 50%. Okay, diagram 36. Diagram 21 is a schematic diagram of a cross-pollination between 2 pea plants, purple plants and white plants. Okay, so let's look at the question. Purple flower traits in the pea plants is controlled by the dominant allele R. Okay, so we have the dominant allele R for purple. For white flower is controlled by the recessive R, small r. What are the genotypes of the parents? Okay, so we look back to these questions. White flower coming from the recessive allele. That means it confirmed 2 small r already. But for the purple plants, it can have 2 possibilities. The big R, or big R, small r. Now the problem is, how can you produce the white flower as an offspring? And this is the offspring. We try to guess the genotype of the offspring. It must be 2 small r. Okay, 2 small r. So you can see, in order to get 2 small r, one must come from this parent, correct or not? Another one must come from this parent, the white flower one. So you must get one of the small r from the left side and one of the small r from the right side. So the genotype for the purple plants must be this one. If the purple flower is having this kind of genotype, it's impossible to produce the white flower as an offspring. So we confirm that the purple flower is having this genotype and the white flower is having this genotype. Big R, small r for the P, big R, small r for the P, and small r for the Q. Answer is A. Question 37. A girl has a sickle cell anemia disease. What caused this disease? Sickle cell anemia is come from the gene, okay, the genetic mutation, the gene mutation. So the answer for question 37, it must be B, change in the structure of the gene. The rose plant has leaf of various size. Which of the following graph represent the variations shown by the characteristic of the leaf? Okay. Size. Okay, when we talk about the height, when we talk about the height of a humans, when we talk about the weight of the humans, those are the continuous variations. Continuous variations. When we have this continuous variation, we will produce a graph which looks like a bell curve like this. That one is the continuous variations. Okay, so the size of the leaf is also continuous variation because the characteristic is not distinct. Okay, it is not distinct, so it will produce the bell curve graph for this question as well. So we look at the question, which one is the bell curve? So answer should be A lah. Okay, question 38 should be A for this question. Okay, diagram 22 shows the DNA profile of a child and a mother. There are also 3 other DNA profile of a man that one of them is most likely the father of the child. Okay, so this mother not sure which father is which man is the child's father. Okay, dangerous, so we need to do the DNA profiling. This kind of things, okay, it's called a DNA profiling. DNA profiling. So we just need to check because the child, it should have 2 sets of DNA. Okay, DNA. One set is coming from the father, correct or not? Another set is coming from the mother. So we just need to check which one is coming from. Which man has the similar DNA compared to the child. So child, okay, have 1 set of the DNA from the mother. Then this one is empty. Then this one, okay, it's coming from the man too. Okay, it's coming from man too. You can see this gene is coming from the man too. This one is coming from the mother. So do we have any other gene that we can compare? No. So man too most probably is the man of this child. Okay, it's the father of this child. So answer here is man too. Question 39B. Okay guys, finally last questions. Let's do this. The following statements explain about genetic engineering. We have the recombinant DNA technology, blah 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 blah. Okay, so we're talking about GNF. Let's look at the question first. Which of the following is possible adverse effect? Adverse means not good. Okay, not good. Not a good effect caused by the genetic engineering. Now, we actually love genetic modified food, but the concern is the food safe or not? Or maybe it will cause cancer, or maybe there is some side effect we are not yet discovered yet. So the question is, what is the not good effect for the genetic engineering? So the answer should be increase the nutrition. This one is a good stuff. Okay, this one is a good stuff. So A is not the answer. Reduce the problem related to the pest. This one is a good stuff. So this is not the answer. Foreign gene in GNF may be transferred to human. Now, this is not a good stuff. We don't want any genes to be transferred to humans. Okay, because gene is a very complicated stuff. If the gene is being transferred to human, that means there is some mutation. We don't know what is the side effect of the mutation. Normally, those kind of mutation is something that is not good to human. We don't want these kind of things to happen. So this is something that's not good in GNF. Okay, now overcome worldwide food shortage by producing high quality transgenic crops and livestock. This one is the good stuff. So D is not the answer. Alright, so guys, thank you for watching my video, and that's all for today. If you have any question you want me to discuss in detail, you can leave a comment below. If you think this video is helpful, please give me a like and share my video to your friends to help them in their SPM as well. Alright, see you next time. Bye bye.